And a very good morning on this Sunday, 9:49 the time. Those of you listening online or via our Ustream feed, during the commercial break, you hear me say Saturday morning. It's not Saturday. It's Sunday. Nope. Sunday fun day. And a great day to get out and start exploring. And in the words of our next guest, leave home. You need to leave home to find yourself. That is the philosophy that will be spoken about on Tuesday night in San Luis Obispo. If you have a chance to come down from Monterey, Santa Cruz, Santa Clara counties down to San Luis here to listen to Judith Fein, a travel journalist and author, and her husband and cohort, photojournalist Paul Ross. They'll be speaking. It's part of the San Luis Obispo Public Library series, and they'll have a presentation, and it includes wine tasting. So how can you not like that, Patty
Fabulous.
Pyburn? Right. If I forgot to mention, I'm Randall White, joined by co-host Patty Pyburn, and we have Judith on the line right now. Judith Fein. She is in Santa Barbara doing what she loves to do, travel. Good morning, Judith.
Good morning, Randall.
Yeah, it's great to have you with us. You must be excited to head up this way and talk a little bit about leaving home to find yourself.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing right now. We've left home. We're always finding ourselves, and we're always leaving home.
Now, home base is in New Mexico. I'm jealous. Santa Fe. I love that
Santa
area.
Fe, New Mexico. Don't you wish you had the desert?
You know what? I'm a huge desert fan. I really am. And so I head to Palm Springs. That's as close as I get.
That's as close as you get.
Right. So I've been reading your book, and I absolutely love it. You tell some great stories. And
you're my ideal audience. Thank you. Because, listen, if you just switch the order around, explore, eat, drink, that's our life.
Right?
Right?
Yes, exactly. And I just have to call you a camel eater.
Oh, no.
Judith tells the most amazing story. If you buy travel books just to find out where which hotel you want to stay in, Judith's books are not the ones for you. She tells stories and people's stories, and she has such a great one. You were in Israel, right?
Oh, Randall, I knew you were going to do that because of the eat angle. We were in actually in Samaria, in the northern territory, and it's between the Palestinian territory and Israel, where the ancient Samaritans live. As in the Good Samaritan, there are about 700 left in the world, and we went to stay with them.
Yes, and she met this descendant of all of the top biblical characters you can think of, and she's having this wonderful conversation with him, and then she throws out that she had eaten camel, and that just changed everything, right?
Okay, so he was talking about the Bible, because they are descended, can you believe this, from the brother of Moses, Aaron, the brother of Moses. They trace their lineage back to him, and I'm with the high priest of the ancient Samaritans in his turban, in his robe, in his house. We are new best friends. We're getting along. We're talking about everything. And he mentions camel. And I said, oh, I once ate camel. And that was the end of the conversation. I was practically ladled out of his house on a spoon. And I said, well, what did I do? What did I do? And it seems that the worst thing you can do is to eat camel.
It is. It's worse than pork.
It is. It makes pork look like chicken, okay? It's a really, really bad idea to eat camel. But I didn't know how to backtrack. And there I am with the high priest in his robe, in his stately house. And I said, well, I didn't really eat it. I kind of pushed it around my plate. I just took a little taste. But camel, that's the worst thing you could do. And I didn't know what to do, and he said, you have to repent. Well, Randall, if I said to you this morning, repent, what would you do?
What would I do to repent? I'm not a big
repenter. You're not of course, it's not something that comes easily to the tongue. Like, well, how do you repent?
Right.
And I thought, okay, maybe I can buy my way out of this. And we had just come from North Vietnam and had a 20,000 North Vietnamese dong note in my wallet. 20,000 is probably worth $2. And I pulled it out, and I said, could I repent with money, with dong? I'm trying to buy my way out of camel with dong.
Uh-oh.
And it turns out he's a coin collector, and he wanted dong.
Well, perfect.
So I bought my way out of eating camel with a dog. And luckily, he had a sense of humor, but I understand that in the community of the Samaritans, they still refer to me as that camel eater.
Well, that's why I had to call you out on it and say
Oh,
that you're the
I've been camel outed by you, Randall.
I'll tell you what, Judith. I just think it's a great story to explain where you're coming from when you say leaving home to find yourself. You go places, and these are the type of experiences, maybe not exactly the way that it played out for you, but you don't want to just lay on the beach and soak up the sun and find out where the best restaurant is in town. You want to mix in with the culture, and then that helps you find out who you are.
What's a beach?
What's a beach?
No, but here's the deal. It would be a completely vain and vainglorious activity to write a book just about I did this, I did that. The idea is that I try to take the reader with me so that the reader understands how you can have experiences every time you walk out of your house. Mm-hmm. That's the goal, that you do not have to go to the high priest of the ancient Samaritans, but you have to have a mindset that allows you to have adventure in your own town, in the next town, wherever you go, that you're in the adventure mindset.
So, Judith, what is the key to that? Do you think that it is stepping outside of ourselves and remembering to stop looking at our personal device, our iPhone or what have you, and like interact and connect with the people around us? Is that what we're missing?
Yes. For example, we were in Ojai yesterday, okay? And it was at night, and my husband Paul and I were going for a walk, and we went into a neighborhood, and there were 3 African kids, adorable kids, and they were practicing a cheerleader routine. So you can walk by and say, there are 3 kids practicing a cheerleader routine, but they couldn't lift up one of the girls. She kept falling, and they were giggling, and we stopped. And we started talking to these kids, and we became their audience, and more kids came. And suddenly, we're having this private cheerleader performance by these little kids, and they're giggling, they have an audience, and suddenly they're learning how to throw. That's an adventure, as opposed to just being absorbed in yourself, in your life, in your iPhone, in your iPad, in your whatever.
And that would be easy to do there in Ohio. You go to the wine tasting, you go to dinner, you go back to your spa, and you find yourself in your little bubble as
Correct.
Opposed to mixing with the locals of
Exactly
Ohio.
correct,
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a matter of you have to indulge your curiosity. You have to really be curious about other people. But the secret, and you have to have an open heart. Just be open to whatever happens. But here's the thing. The secret is that everybody, you want to go, you want to climb to the top of the Himalayas, and you want to consult with a guru. And all the guru would probably tell you is be in the now. Just be wherever you are. And you can do it. You could save yourself the air ticket to the Himalayas.
Yeah.
Just be present to what happens. That's the healed state. That's how you feel.
Judith Fein, author of Life is a Trip, The Transformative Magic of Travel. Love the book. Highly recommend it. And you can meet Judith 7 o'clock for wine tasting, 7:30 for the presentation, downtown San Luis Obispo at the library there on Palm Street. Judith, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you for listening this morning here at Eat, Drink, Explore Radio.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.